What's up, you fucking sons of bitches? Cocksuckers. It's fucking Wednesday, which is like Thursday for me, because I'll be traveling to Miami. Shoe Gallery, doing that book signing. Sirius needs to pay me extra for fucking flying around meeting all of the Shade 45 listeners. That's alright, I don't need your fucking money, I'll do it myself. I'm an independent woman. Feeling good. I just feel like hearing like fucking power pop anthems to start the show. So apparently that whole thing I was asking about with like the Indian guys hollering at bitches happens a lot. I got flooded with screenshots from women who were hit on by fucking Indian dudes. So whenever you're at that bar afraid to talk to that girl, just keep in mind, like, someone that doesn't know English is just fucking cracking into hoes. Where we belong. What do you got today? My man Chris Ryan is gonna be here. Is he here yet, or is Chris here?
Not yet.
Chris has got a book that I really like. It's called Sex at Dawn. I don't even like to fuck at dawn. I'm gonna keep it 1 billion. Because I'm a pleaser. I like for the chick to nut, you know? If they're not coming, I don't feel good about myself. If you want to break my brain or dump me, just fucking fuck me like 7 times and don't come. I'll be like, all right, it's done. Fuck this, it's over, I can't. John, how do you keep showing up at a job you're not good at without killing yourself? Like, that's how I would feel. Like, that's how I would feel. Like, if I just kept fucking a girl and she just never came. Like, what? Oh, we're not playing. Are we playing a game? We are playing a game, right?
Sure, Black, White, or Other. If we want to.
Black, White, or Other.
Black, White, or Other.
Fucking lame. Oh, yeah. Fucking keeping them fucking soft rock. Goddamn fucking power ballads going, bro. That's my shit. Got 9.5 glasses. They came out to the San Diego book signing and gave me a bunch of glasses, so I thought I would pass on the love. 9.5, giving out some of those glasses. So tender, you told me you cared. Come on, man. Sing it, Peebo. Oh, and I forgot to thank whoever. I forgot the gentleman's name, but he brought me a fucking ounce of OG Kush. Fucking cool. Hold up. Turn that up. Ain't that the truth? This goes out to all those chicks that broke up with me. If you're ever in my arms again, I love you forever. It's not funny. It's not funny they broke up. I love you forever, ladies. All those chicks that curved me. If you're ever in my arms again, I'll tie you to the bed. I love you forever. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, my man. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. That's what happens when I fucking do 7 shows before this one. Sex at Dawn is a book about how having a monogamous relationship is kind of goes against our hardwiring. Can you please turn this up? Why do you keep turning down the fucking awesome part? Why you keep turning down the awesome? I will be there, Miami. 3 p.m. at Shoe Gallery. Shoe Gallery won't let me post fucking pictures with Shoe Gallery and butts on yeah, shout out to Lex, he hooked it up. But they frown upon me posting pictures of butts on my Instagram with the fucking with Shoe Gallery's details. Because like I don't know, I guess tennis shoes and fucking sneakers and fucking chicks' asses don't go together. I'm not one to criticize. I just don't understand. And when I'm posting the fucking algorithm fucks it up unless I got like some pussy on my goddamn thing. The Instagram algorithm fucks it up. You need like vagina. It's ridiculous. I hate it too. Oh, my man Chris is here. Awesome. We got this. We got Black, White, or Other. We got the fucking news. You don't know none of these songs, do you, John? You don't know. You did you know any of them songs I just played?
Not that one. I think I vaguely recall the earlier one.
The first one with Joe Cocker.
Yeah, this one. No.
You don't know Piano in the Dark?
Absolutely not.
Man, hit yourself with that fucking crusty ass shoe. Take off your fucking dirt shoe and hit yourself in the head with it. How you not know Brenda Russell, man? All right, Chris is here. Hey, if I had it my way, I would just fucking play slow songs and yell over them for fucking for all day. All right, let's name it off. The most pussy getting motherfuckers: firefighters, singers, guitar players. Who's getting more pussy than like a firefighter singer that can play guitar? Like nobody that owns a puppy, like a perpetual puppy, like a dog that like just never grows. Like, can you imagine how much pussy you would slay? Meanwhile, I'm just some fucking shock jock that looks like a pedophile. Great. Hey, someone came to the San Diego book signing. He wants a shot at it. Fucking holler at the kid. I'll talk to you real quick. On the riddle. Yeah. Click on him. Yo, Vic, what up, though?
Yo, what up, Jude? Hey, that book signing in San Diego was dope, man. The book sold out. It was standing room only. And what I thought was funny is you were reading a story about getting your dick sucked in front of a blind chick's mom, or in front of a chick's blind mom.
Yeah. And
then you hear babies in the background. Somebody brought their fucking babies to the book signing.
Yeah, people brought toddlers to the book signing.
That shit was also. You can add to the fucked up shit you've done. You corrupt babies now, too, man.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, man, I just want to point out how much of a loser John is, man, because he told me he wished that I crashed on the way to the book signing.
Oh, Vic's checking in.
I was the fourth person there. Book sold out, but I still got one. Sat in the front row and was the fourth person to get my book signed. So, John, do you think you could wish that I don't win the fucking Powerball this week, motherfucker?
Well, I'm glad you made it, Vic. I'm glad things worked out for you. You didn't die, so that's a positive.
He doesn't mean that
so
either.
You still,
he does not.
I know that. It just like when he says he's going to move out, he doesn't mean that either.
Yes, of course I mean it, and that is going to happen.
We will tackle that more later on in the show.
I can't wait.
All right,
Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody needs to get out there in Miami, man. That was very fun, man. Good shit, Jude.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, South Florida, show up. You better.
See the stay-at-home dad, Vic?
No, Vic wasn't a stay-at-home dad. That was my man from Michigan was a stay-at-home dad. You just can't even keep track of the guys that call up and shit on you. This is the one time like where being a loser has kept you having a job. So congratulations on that. Chris Ryan is here. We're going to talk to him. We'll take some phone calls. Really intelligent dude. He might have a PhD. I'm not sure. Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, he's bright as fuck. I'm like a quarter way into the book and just 2 thumbs up. I couldn't recommend it anymore. It's called Sex at Dawn. We're going to talk about monogamy. Is it natural for humans? Let's go.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
Shave 45. Oh, buddy. Sex at Dawn author Chris Ryan, PhD. You got that on your website, bro.
So, I got so much shit about that, man. I hired this social media dude, and he looked at Chris Ryan and Christopher Ryan and all these things, and he's like, well, I'll just go with Chris Ryan, PhD. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, man. And then I started getting shit about it, and my buddy Duncan Trussell changed his handle to Duncan Trussell, PhD.
Is he a PhD as well?
No, just to fuck with me. And now he's got MD. He even went further.
It's like, yo, that's like lying on your dick, bro. Like, you can't just be like PhD. It's like lying on your thread count.
Yeah, thread count.
You wrote a book that I'm really into. And the crazy thing was I'd been wanting to get you on the show for months and months, and then you and I just happened to fucking somehow get together through fucking Simon Rex.
Simon, yeah.
And you had me come on your podcast. What's the name of the podcast? Tangentially Speaking. We chopped it up, and I was like, bro, you got to come on this show and talk about your book. I really love the idea of this book. It's one of those things where it's basically humans aren't kind of programmed to be monogamous. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the evolutionary history of modern sexuality. So how did humans behave sexually before there were religions and governments and people looking over our shoulders telling us what to do and what not to do? How do we behave as an animal? What kind of animal is Homo sapiens, and how's that play out sexually? And
so, would you say that like the human construct is thrown around so much? So, is monogamy a human construct then?
Yeah, Yeah, long-term sexual monogamy, certainly. Now, that's not to say that humans aren't naturally pair bonding. Okay, people get confused about this.
Tell me what is pair bonding, so that we don't start fucking.
Well, pair bonding means that there can be a unique relationship
between two people.
Between two people, often generally of opposite genders,
right?
And that can last throughout a lifetime.
Yeah,
it can. But that doesn't mean that those people were sexually exclusive with each other. And it also doesn't mean, by the way, that they raise children together as a unit. The nuclear family is a cultural construct.
That's a relatively new thing. It was more like a fucking raised by the village type deal.
Right, exactly.
All right, and I got a chance to listen to some of your book on tape, which you're not happy about, so go buy the fucking book.
Well, I don't know. I mean, as we were talking before we turned on the mics, they wouldn't let me read it, so I have a chip on my shoulder.
And you got a good voice too, so
yeah, that's
fuck them. You read the little beginning. What is it called? The prelude or whatever the fuck it is.
Preface.
The preface. You read the fuck out of the preface, Chris.
I
really like
the attack.
So. Because, and I often hit on this shit too. It's like, look, man, we are fucking animals.
Yeah.
We just disguise it better. We disguise it from ourselves a bit better. But at the end of the day, we're fucking animals.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner that a person's able to come to terms with that, you can deal with that.
Right.
You get a lot of people that are, no, I'm above it, and then because all of these feelings get repressed, and then the next thing you know, they're stomping their feet at gas station fucking bathrooms, getting their dick sucked by other dudes. You know what I mean? Like, just claim what the fuck you are. Like, just own it.
And I think women get victimized by this at least as much as men do, in somewhat different way. But dudes are like. Dudes are kind of what they are. It's really hard for us to not be what we are. But women are better at shaping themselves to what they're expected to do, what they think they're expected to do. And so I think a lot of women really suffer from this idea that being anything animalistic about a woman is shameful.
Yeah.
And so you have women who can't have an orgasm, for example, because they're so out of touch with the animal. Or in this country, breastfeeding is seen as disgusting criminal behavior. You get kicked out of the airport, go sit in this little dark chamber or go in the bathroom. What the fuck?
For feeding your kid.
Feeding your kid.
It breaks my brain when I see poor people giving fucking formula to their child. It's like, one, it's not good for the kid. Two, it's like, yo, you got free fucking, you're broke and the one free thing you got is in your fucking titty, and you're still using wick over here. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And it's so important for the kid. I mean,
bonding.
For the kids, emotionally, psychologically, and immune system. The kid's immune system gets all the initial information from the mother's, particularly the first few days. Colostrum, it's called, the breast emits in the first few days after birth. That contains all the antibodies that are going to populate this kid's digestive system for the rest of her life.
Let's jump into this.
We're just going right past it.
All right, so we started off as hunter-gatherers.
And sorry to keep going, but cesarean delivery as well in this country is off the charts. It's doubled in the last 20 years or something. For no medical reason. It's just convenience of the doctor.
How do you feel about circumcision?
Circumcision is a problem. Yeah. I mean, the first thing that happens to a kid is getting his dick cut.
You should see my baby picture, like the infant picture. I look so bummed because they just chopped my dick. I'm just so bummed. And then they wonder why I'm like this. You know what I mean?
How old were you?
I was an infant. I was fresh out the womb. Like, hold up, I got something for you. Come over here. Whop. Cut too deep. I got a fucking oval scar on my dick. It's just like fucking motherfuckers.
On the other hand, I'm circumcised, and the one thing that I always hear from I'm not militant about it. If I had a kid, I wouldn't do it if it weren't medically necessary, but I'm not, extreme on the other side. The one thing I always hear is it cuts down on sensitivity. Dude, till I was about 40, the last thing I needed was more sensitivity on my dick.
No dick control, Chris. You ain't had no dick control, man. You need to you need to train your dick.
That's right.
All right, let's jump off into the book, because I want people to kind of understand the base premise of this. It was that we, for hundreds of thousands of years or 30,000? How long have we been here?
All right, anatomically modern humans. So we're talking people with brains
that
the size of ours,
like us,
look like us,
similar,
move like us, same brain architecture, same body. 300,000 years. 300,000
years. So for the first, let's say, what, 250,000, 240,000, 270,000,
290. Agriculture happened about 10,000 years ago at the earliest.
So for the first 290,000 years, most people were hunter-gatherers.
All people were hunter-gatherers.
They were hunter-gatherers, and that was men and women going out getting shit.
Right. Just
correct?
Nomadic hunter-gatherer groups. Yeah.
How big was the crew?
Depends on the environment and how much food's available, and seasonally it would change.
All right.
These are called fusion groups, so they would come together when there was more food available, like a salmon run, let's say, you know, in the Pacific Northwest.
Then when it was scarce,
and then they'd split up again. And different. But the maximum size is about 150 people.
And the minimum would be what, like 10?
No, the 15? Minimum, 10, 15 probably.
And the how maximum, did they mate?
So let me explain the maximum, because it's quite interesting. It's something called Dunbar's number, named after Robin Dunbar, a British biologist who he was looking at the neocortex of different primates, and he noticed that the size of the neocortex relative to the rest of the brain.
Let me stop you. What the fuck is a neocortex?
It's the part up front here,
all right, so
behind
the shit on your forehead.
Yeah,
I bet.
And that's the newest part of the brain, the most, and it's related to like higher thought functions and monitoring social relationships, which is why he was looking at it in particular. You know, like lizards don't have any neocortex at all, right? So anyway, he noticed there was a correlation between the size of that part of the brain and the size of the social group of that primate. And so he started doing calculations, and he figured, well, based on the ratio of the neocortex of humans to the rest of their brain, we should have social groups of around 150 maximum. Because that seems to be
that's the most that we can handle.
That's all we can handle. So then he looked at social media, looked at friendship circles, all this, and he found 150 indeed is the maximum number of people. Like you might have a lot more. You do have a lot more than 150 Facebook friends or whatever.
But it's a blur after a while, and that's a crazy thing. Like people hit me up. Do you remember this? And it's like I don't remember shit. It's just a blur. I'm being fucking bombarded by people, and it's nothing personal. It's just my brain can't keep up with it.
So 150 is the max.
So what does that do once you go over 150? It just
it fucks things up, because what happens is what you just said. People become abstractions.
Okay.
And so when you look at the way we behave politically, for example, or in terms of generosity and stinginess and all these kind of like behaviors that sort of plug into what we're calling human nature, under 150, we behave a certain way. We're very egalitarian, very
What does
sharing.
egalitarian mean?
Means everybody gets equal opportunities to everything. Nobody gets in each other's way.
Everyone's looking out for one another.
We're looking out, but also we share.
Okay.
So let's say you and I live in the same group, and you're a really good hunter, and I kind of suck. You're going to come home with a lot more impalas than I am. But that doesn't mean you and your girl and your kids are going to eat more than me. You come home, you share it. Because you're going to need me too, because maybe I'm better at healing, or I'm better at finding medicinal plants, or I have some skill you don't have.
Everyone's got their special power. So with a small group of people, it encourages us to look out for one another.
What humans do, you look at us, we're not very impressive animals. We're not very strong. We're not very fast. We're, whatever.
I know. I was looking at it like a pit bull, and it was like 40 pounds. And I'm like, for fucking pound for pound, this dog, like if this dog was my size, it would be a fucking monster.
Well, imagine if a coyote attacked you, or a lynx, or a mountain lion's our weight, and it'll fuck up 5 of us.
It's a wrap.
A chimpanzee, which weighs maximum 80 pounds or so, is about 5 times as strong as a man. I'm talking like a Joe Rogan man too. Not a flabby old.
Not like my ass. Yeah.
So what we do really well is we form cooperative groups.
That's our special power.
5 guys get together, we can take down a mammoth or a grizzly bear, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. So we're really good at working together, taking care of each other, compensating for one another's weaknesses, capitalizing on one another's strengths. That's what we do better than any other animal.
All right, so let's jump over to the sex part then.
Right.
All right, so as humans, we're living in these small groups, and sex was a bond. Sex was just part of our bonding. Is that how it went?
Right. I mean the sort of mainstream view of this is the stuff we're saying about hunter-gatherers being egalitarian, sharing food, sharing access to medicinal plants, all that kind of stuff. That's not controversial. Pretty much all anthropologists are down with that and agree that's the way they operate, whether they're in the Arctic or the Amazon.
Okay.
It's a universal among hunter-gatherers. So that's a very important thing to remember when we're talking about this. But the mainstream view is that sex has been different. That when it came to sex, people were very possessive, and the logic for that, men particularly were possessive, and the logic for that is that men wanted to know who their baby was. It's really important. It's called paternity certainty in the science.
I feel like that now. Like,
Right.
I don't want to raise I don't even want her to have a fucking dog. Like, I don't want to have to fucking raise, don't make me raise someone else's kid.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm not from hunter-gatherer shit. I'm
Right.
post-agriculture.
You're not sharing all your stuff with your close
No, fuck them.
associates, your
Like, I
friends.
love y'all, but
Right.
fuck y'all. Like, go. I'm a product of my environment. Like,
So what happens is, you're a product of your environment, and your environment's very different from what it was for 290,000 years, right?
yeah, paternity didn't matter as much because you guys were all squad. Everybody was in the crew,
Right.
so like the baby was going to get taken care of. It didn't matter
That's the point. And there was no property to pass along.
because you're just cruising around.
Didn't matter. There is no property.
You're walking around. You're probably not
Right.
carrying a bunch of shit because you got to fucking move around.
Exactly.
There's no land to own because you're not stationary.
Right. No domesticated animals.
So
No houses. So who cares what if that kid was? Also, the assumption underlying all this is that our ancestors knew that sex caused pregnancy.
they didn't even know that shit.
They
huh?
didn't know that. There are a lot of contemporary hunter-gatherers who don't know that.
Where the fuck they think babies come from?
Some think that if a woman steps over a smoky fire,
Idiot.
she'll get pregnant. Some
Dumbass.
thinks that she eats a possum, she'll get pregnant. The most interesting one is what's called partible paternity by scientists. And this is really interesting because it occurs in at least a dozen different tribes that have been documented. Most of them in the Amazon, but a couple in Papua New Guinea and some other places. And these are tribes, even in the Amazon, these are tribes that have no common language, no contact with one another.
Right.
So this is an idea that arose independently in each case, right? And the idea is that a fetus is literally made of accumulated semen. So what happens is a woman...
Talk to me.
A woman...
I smell a busto. I'm smelling bustos.
Speaking your language.
Running
now, right?
trains. Let's talk to me.
So a woman who wants to have a baby who's smart and funny and good looking and a good hunter will make sure that she fucks the smart guy and the funny guy and the good looking guy and the good hunter to
she
get
gets
all
all
that
of-
essence into her baby. Right.
Yeah.
And then when the baby's born, each of these dudes will be like, yeah, okay, I'm a father too.
So then they help take-
Co-fathering. Yeah. So where this kind of thing is the cultural belief, and we can, very safely assume that that would have been a common belief in prehistory as well. How do you even know who the father is? You don't associate sex. Everybody's fucking. Women are getting pregnant. Why would you think, oh, that causes that? It doesn't.
It just and then agriculture comes along.
Yeah.
And was that the Fertile Crescent? That's where that shit started
that's
popping.
the first place. But it happened at least 5 times independently in different parts of the world. But
All right.
the first instance appears to be the Fertile Crescent.
Okay, so agriculture comes along,
Right.
and now you have where you have to tend the fields.
Right.
They start domesticating animals.
You get
There's
hierarchies.
ownership.
You have ownership of animals. You have ownership of women. You have slaves, ownership of other humans.
They didn't have slaves in hunter-gatherer shit?
No.
Really?
No.
All right.
And
I figured they just always had slaves.
no. The whole ownership thing comes about with agriculture. If you look in the Old Testament, the famous passage where it says, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife." I always took that to be about relationships, that you should you should honor and respect your neighbor's marriage. But if you read it in context, it says, nor his house, nor his sheep, nor his ox, nor his servants.
She just got lumped into all that shit.
She's just like, keep your hands off your neighbor's stuff.
And is that where the whole fucking trading pussy for things?
Sure. Well, that
kind of came about.
Yeah, because at that point, pussy becomes a commodity.
Yes, vagina is a commodity.
Right. And let's not forget, at that point, women went from, in hunter-gatherers, women are equal to men in stature and autonomy.
Yeah. They make the babies and they help to go get the food. They're
and in fact, they probably, in most cases, contribute more food than the men do. The men contribute the meat that they get, but the women they get the rodents, they get little rabbits, they get the insects, they get the fruits and the berries and the nuts.
Right.
They're contributing more calories than the men are, generally. So in some cases, women hunt as well, but generally the women gather and the men hunt.
So they went from doing pretty good,
really good,
to fucking property,
to being slaves. Yeah, to being baby machines. Also, you get women having far more kids in agricultural societies than they did as hunter-gatherers.
And then that makes the population balloon, and then that makes...
and then it expands, you get armies, you get an expansionist social system that has to always have more land because the population's growing.
So now what we have is we're basically these people that have adapted to agricultural society. That's kind of what we are now, like where we grow shit, own shit, make things, have wars, stuff like that. I'm sure there was people had fights with one another since before.
In hunter-gatherers?
Yeah.
There's some evidence for that, but not nearly what you've heard.
Okay.
And that's what my next book is. My next book is about the difference between the reality of prehistory and what we've been told about prehistory. But
okay,
as far as war goes,
let's not get you.
I mean, I talk about this in Sex at Dawn too. There's a section on war and politics and all that.
So look, in order for us to like kind of make it in the way where we are, it makes sense to have monogamous relationships. Is that it came from somewhere, right? Like it's easier to have a monogamous relationship.
Well, the reason monogamy originated with agriculture is that men, now men had property. Men owned property, and
they need
wanted
to pass it down
to their son.
Yeah.
So how do you know he's your son? You control that woman's sexual behavior.
You want to make sure she ain't. Yeah.
That's the only way.
I'm kind of on board with this. Like, I don't want to be having a fucking farm and then like some little beige motherfucker has like, what the fuck? Where did he come from? You know what I mean? Like, he's got I've been busting ass with this yak over here. Like, so I understand. I can wrap my brain around that, but we're still hardwired to not be in monogamous relationships.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're hardwired is a phrase that is difficult. In Spanish, there's an expression that, how's it go? The habits begin as cobwebs and end as chains. Okay. So I kind of see these things more as cultural habits that accrue over time and solidify. So some people say, no, I'm hardwired for monogamy. Like, I don't know. The brain, there are no hard wires in the brain. There are lots of factors that contribute to what feels natural to you, but
we tend to cheat more. Let's be all the way
real. If you say we're hardwired for one thing, it's like we're hardwired for both. Obviously, where there's a conflict here. Yeah,
and so you see these motherfuckers like you get in a monogamous relationship, and then if you listen to my What Would You Do, half the fucking calls are about cheating, man.
Right,
and it's so clearly it's not easy to stay in a monogamous relationship. So what? So your study has your book showed, like, in a nutshell, it shows that it is hard, at least, to fucking
what I equate it to vegetarianism, right? It's like you can choose to. I'm not advocating against monogamy or for non-monogamy. I'm not saying everybody should be having orgies. I'm just saying we need to be real. as you started with, that we're animals. What kind of animal are we? We're a non-monogamous animal by nature. We're omnivores.
What percentage of mammals are monogamous?
Very few. I think it's like 2 or 3% of mammals.
That's mammals.
And of primates, it's even smaller than that. There are like 300 and some species of primates, depending on your definition of species, which is flexible. And there are none that are monogamous that live in complex social groups.
How do we have this conversation with our special loved one and be like, yo, dude, like, so it turns out.
I read this book. I get a lot of emails like that. I gave my wife this book.
Jenny, sit down for 1 second. Let me talk to you real quick. Do you know how long humans have been here for? 300,000 years.
Yeah.
Do you know how long they've been monogamous for?
Yeah.
Like 10. So
tell you what, but Jenny might say, yeah, I'm down with that. And then what? See, it's because it's not, the book isn't saying men are non-monogamous and women are. It's like human beings are non-monogamous.
I am seeing a woman right now who has a husband. Yeah. And like they have their own deal going. Like this they have their own thing. They have a family. They got kids, careers. And she sees me, and he has his date nights, and it's set up. It seems to be working for them. It breaks my fucking brain. Like I'm like, okay, whatever. Like that's on y'all too. Whatever. It breaks
your brain because you can't imagine being in his position.
I don't know. I've never been in that position, so I don't understand how that goes.
How's it feel to you?
It seems like we are extremely intimate.
Yeah,
and that is something I may be threatened by.
If you were him,
yeah, but I don't know. I'm just like You don't know what you're gonna do until you're in that fucking situation. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool with it. Like, are you cool with it? You don't know you're cool with it until like your girl's getting dicked down by some other fucking dude,
right?
And she's like spooning him, telling him secrets, and then you're like, fuck, dude, that might hurt me.
Well, how do you feel knowing that after you're with her, she goes home to her husband and kids who are, let's face it, more important to her than you are?
I am not emotionally attached to her, so therefore it means nothing to me. I can compartmentalize sex.
Do you think you could come to love this woman if you guys kept seeing each other over the coming years?
It would take years.
Yeah.
It would take years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, like...
See, the thing is, people
are talking to a broken person, Chris.
Everybody I talk to is a broken person. We're all broken. But, I mean, people get all... Like, they think that they carve out this exception for sexual love, right? Nobody ever says, don't have a second child because then you won't love your first kid as much. Nobody ever talks that way. Nobody ever says, you have 2 siblings, so you must love them half as much as me.
Like there's
one.
You're saying that people are operating under the assumption that there is a finite amount of love to go around, and it's quite possible to love a gang of people.
Clearly, we do it in every other part of our lives. So
888-742-3345.
Sorry, go.
888-742-3345. I want the callers to weigh in on this. I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
And I want to hear if there's anybody that's in these situations right now, would like to be in these situations, I totally disagree with Chris.
So let me finish the point about vegetarianism.
Break it down.
You can choose to be a vegetarian, and that can be ethically, morally, health. In terms of health, it can be a superior way to live.
Just to annoy people at fucking parties.
To annoy people, to be holier than thou.
I'm a vegan. I got Bitcoin.
But that doesn't mean you're an herbivore. Right. You're always going to be an omnivore.
Right.
So when I say people are non-monogamous, I don't mean they have to behave that way. I don't even mean it's a better way to behave. I just mean that by our nature, that's the kind of animal we are.
You're married?
Yeah.
How do you do this? Are you in your? I'm guessing you're clearly not monogamous.
My wife and I don't talk about that publicly.
Okay.
When we wrote the book, we were like, if we talk about our personal thing, that's going to be the focus, and that's not what this is about. So
I just want to know how it works how it works in fucking practice.
And also, man, we've been together 18 plus years. you're together that long, you don't have one relationship. You've had 5 or 10. It changes all the time.
I look at old people, and I say this time and time again. The amount of shit that they've had to forgive one another of, just the stuff that you've been through, like the rough patches. Like we see these cute old couples, and you don't see the fucking ass whoopings that they've had to go through to be fucking sitting side to side at fucking Denny's. You know what I mean? Like getting their little fucking senior discount. Yeah. And I think romance movies and shit like that really have broken our brain because we don't understand the work that it takes to fucking make a relationship.
They lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They kept struggling and fighting and forgiving, and that's the reality of it. But you choose that, right? I mean, I don't remember who it was who said the key to keeping a relationship going is every day you wake up and decide not to get divorced.
That's right.
That's what it is.
You had another quote in there, like people that I found was cool. Was like people can't choose what they want, but they can choose what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. We're talking to the author, Sex at Dawn.
Co-author, by the way.
Excuse me.
With my wife.
Co-author, Chris Ryan, PhD. It's on his website. You should check it out, chrisryanphd.com. The book Sex at Dawn, I got you can get it on Audible or just fucking get it off of Amazon. It's interesting. And here's the thing with me, like I don't know if, as I think about this, like as far as I'm concerned, my girls never cheated on me because I didn't know. So if I don't know, I don't fucking know. Like I'm kind of, I'd either want to go that route or like complete trust. It's one of those two. Like, and either way, it's kind of trust. It's like, hey man, just don't let me find out. We're good. Just don't let me fucking find out. Or it's like, I just need to be able. It's not about the cheating. Isn't the fucking worst thing about it. It's the trust thing that I would have a hard time with. But like once you tackle that.
Well, you said something earlier. You're talking about your girl having sex, and then you said spooning him, telling secrets. Yeah. Right? Those are two very different things there.
Yes. And
so if you have the trust, and if you know each other really well, then she's not going to tell him anything that's sacred between you two. You know that. And also, if you know the guy, then he's cool. He's not trying to steal your girl. So there are all these weird contradictions.
What if I helped and like I pushed on his butt while he was fucking?
That happens.
Like you could
give him a good slap every once in a while. Keep him going.
I mean, look,
that's love, man.
This is clearly like if you look at our porn habits, if you look at the stuff that we're drawn to, group sex is very popular. Fucking cuckolding is very popular. These are all things that it's in us. Yeah. It's in us. We're just kind of repressing it a bit.
Yeah. Or a lot.
Do you think this is the most America seems to be you got the motherfuckers that we seem almost like schizophrenic in the way that we deal with sex. It's like Kim Kardashian got famous for sucking some dude's dick, like that's it. But then we also call women sluts, or
we produce more porn than any country in the world. I always think about America as being like a country run by adolescent boys. We're fascinated by violence, tits and ass, but we're also freaked out by it.
Right.
So, we go back and forth. We create more porn than anyone, but we've got all these weird laws. We don't even have decent sex ed in schools. It's very clear in the states that have no sex ed or have just say, no or zero tolerance or whatever the fuck it's called. They have the highest teen pregnancy, highest STD. I mean, everybody knows it doesn't work, but we're still in denial of it.
Let's go to Shay in New York. Go ahead, Shay.
Hey, guys. So basically, I just wanted to chime in. I don't do monogamous relationships, and I always find that it's the guy that has an issue.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I guess I feel that guys get territorial. A lot of the time it's just that they're like, oh, well, I don't want somebody else fucking you, but it's okay that they want to fuck whoever.
So are you bisexual, Shay?
No.
Well, then there are no women
I
in your
wouldn't say
sample
so.
group there. Yeah.
See, he's a doctor. Look at that. Fucking just PhD'd your ass.
No,
Yeah. Some chicks might get it. Yeah,
I get emails like this all the time, right? From women saying guys are territorial, they're possessive. This sounds great, but it'll never work. In the meantime, I'm getting just as many emails from guys.
Yeah, we don't have guys don't have the fucking the market cornered in being jealous. You know what I mean? Like it happens on both ends.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like you just need a more open-minded dude. I
Do you
think
feel that it's jealousy over literally being territorial? I mean, like, all right, so I have this one guy that I see, and he's the only one that can seem to actually handle me. And he doesn't get jealous, but he still gets, like, territorial. And, like, that's how he explains it to me anyway.
what if you just like give me a for instance and like isn't it just, like doesn't boundaries help and like just kind of like parameters that one works within? Like,
Sure.
you know,
People have to work out what's legit, what's cool, what isn't. And those are all conversations you
I
have
probably
to
wouldn't
have.
want my girl, like, let's say I do have this relationship. Let's say I have a fictitious relationship with a fucking woman it's going to be open. I'm probably not going to be crazy about her doing that shit in front of me. I'll probably feel a bit disrespected. Like, who the fuck is this fucking dude?
Right,
You chatting up this fucking guy in the bathroom while I'm
Right.
out here looking like a dick?
Sure. Or
And I
going
gotta-
to a place where your friends hang out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are lots of different gradations and rules that people have, from straight up going to orgies together to keeping it on the down low. But I'm interested, if Shay's still on the phone, what's the difference between jealous and territorial?
I feel like it's not so much a matter that he wishes that he was the guy that I'm with when he's not with me, so much as he just feels that I'm his.
And if you're his and he says, as my woman, it's cool with me that you sleep with this other dude, then does that fit into the relationship?
Part of me is starting to think that he goes along with it just to make it okay for me.
You got that motherfucker in some panties. Congratulations. He can't handle you neither.
Or maybe he's two steps ahead. You know what I mean? Maybe he sees what you need and he's like, all right, I'm strong enough for you to have that.
There's a whole song about that called Are You Strong Enough to Be My Man? I just all right, what about disease? That had to, I'm guessing during the hunter gatherer shit, it was dealing with a less a smaller group of people, like
Right.
like what you were saying. You brought this up in the book. I've had fucking countless partners, but from a broader group of people. So like, I probably know them less well than somebody. Like if you're in a group of 150 people, you're gonna know most people. You're gonna be pretty intimate with most
Right,
of them.
right.
That's fair to say.
Right.
And you'll probably it's not like you're gonna fuck this motherfucker and not see them fucking 7 months later. Like you're still gonna be rolling around with them.
Yeah.
So even back then, let's say you had 15, 20 partners, 30 partners, you were closer with them.
Yeah, in the book we say that our ancestors were promiscuous, but we make a big point of what promiscuous really means, right? The root of the word is to mix, and it means, okay, so they were mixing with different people, but as you say, they knew those people. They never had sex with strangers. There were no strangers.
Yeah, there's only you're 150 deep. You're,
Right.
you're 40 deep. You know fucking everybody.
Right. So as far as disease goes, there are two issues. One is that infectious diseases didn't have a chance to really take off because there wasn't the necessary population density.
Okay.
So you didn't have things like tuberculosis. You didn't have diphtheria. You didn't have smallpox. All that stuff came after agriculture.
Yeah, because you're mixing up with the animals and shit like that. Yeah.
And the population density. And also, humans had so you didn't have gonorrhea and syphilis and all that. And if it happened, it would, go around the group and then that it would die out. That was it. So it never spread across the population, right?
Damn.
The way it did in medieval Europe and so on.
Do you think that
The other thing, the other point is hunter-gatherers have much stronger immune systems than we do.
because they're out there living in the dirt?
Right. Literally. The dirt helps. Yeah.
The dirt helps. So did you bring that? Did that did disease have anything to do with us pushing towards monogamy?
It probably had something to do with it. I think the main causes are the property and the sort of other parts of agriculture. But yeah, I think that disease could definitely have been an issue. But the funny thing is, we're talking about monogamy all the time, but until very recently, monogamy just meant a man didn't have sex with an inappropriate woman.
Hey. Meaning
another man's wife or the virgin daughter of a prominent man. Men were having sex, married men were having sex with slaves, with concubines, with prostitutes, with the hired help. That was still considered monogamous. It was the woman's behavior that determined whether that was a monogamous society.
Because they didn't want to raise other people's kids.
Right. So
I'm okay with that.
We use this word and we sort of assume it means what we think it means right now, but this is very recent, this idea that men also are supposed to be monogamous.
Let's go to the phone lines. We got a gang of motherfuckers. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. LaToya does not agree with you, and she can give you 3 reasons why. Go ahead, LaToya in Canada.
I wouldn't say I don't agree with you 100%. I believe in monogamy, or what I understood it to be until you just explained what you did. From a biblical perspective, it says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. I think definitely in this day and age with disease and those factors that, monogamy would be the ideal thing. Now, a couple years ago, I had a boyfriend. We've been together for 3.5 years, and I decided to give him a threesome. So we did it, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Was it guy, girl, or girl, guy?
Girl. It was me and another girl.
You eat that pussy? Let me ask.
No,
you ain't even eat that pussy? You don't love him.
I didn't. I did not.
Did she eat you out?
No, it was mostly just the intercourse part of it.
You got a whack threesome.
I know. You know what?
You just fucking rub his back while he pounded it out? Lame ass threesome.
But to get to my point.
Yeah, you still haven't got there. You've been on the phone I said you had 3 reasons, and you're still fucking talking.
Even though none of those things happened in the threesome, after the threesome, he contacted the girl, and even though he would tell me, it's about business, it's about this, that, blah, 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 I kind of felt that, betrayed, because we did agree that we wouldn't be contacting the person afterwards and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna.
Let me jump in. That was the whole. That's not about fucking. That's about distrust. He went back on his word. It's not about the fucking. It's not about the actual sex act. It's about him going back on his word.
But you know what? That's true. That's a true factor. But in the case where, let's say you and your girl have a threesome and, with another dude, and then, she falls for the dude or she starts liking him and stuff like that. Like, people's feelings do change. And I'm not saying that necessarily happened with me, but things like that do happen where you let someone else in your relationship, and next thing you know, your relationship is upside down. And that could even be just from even a friendship too, right? So when we're talking about sex, things do get really, really complicated, right? So if you have a marriage and something like that happens, obviously it ends up breaking up the marriage and stuff like that. So, there is a lot of factors. Trust, like the young lady was saying.
I'm gonna let him answer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going back to the 40-person crew.
Well, the thing is, LaToya says, you have.
She said a lot.
You have sex with someone else.
Yeah.
Things can get complicated, and that's true. Here's something. Things get complicated when you don't have sex with someone else. How many marriages end because one of the partners looks at the other and says, I can't fuck only you for the rest of my life? How many of those marriages end?
A gang of them motherfuckers.
But we don't hear about
them bitches.
Those, right? I hear from sex therapists or couples therapists who say, oh, every couple I've seen who tried to have an open relationship, it didn't work. They had problems. Well, yeah, you're a therapist. They went to you because they were having problems. The people where it's working great and they're super happy, they're not going to relationship therapists. They're having fun, right?
They're making it work.
So, I mean, let's look at this. Let's compare marriages to marriages, right? Half of them are ending, presumably, just conventional. If half the airplanes were falling from the sky, wouldn't we be looking at redesigning airplanes? Instead of just insisting, no, that's the only way to fly. Okay, half of them fall out of the fucking sky and, smash into the mountain. But, get on that airplane. That's what we're doing with marriage.
Look, I'm not fucking all the way disagreeing with you. I'm like, my main thing is like, we're good. Just don't bring me back herpes or a kid. You know what I mean? Like, those are like, I feel like that's pretty. I feel
That's
like,
reasonable.
Yeah, I feel like that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
So yeah, herpes are a fucking kid. And don't fuck no dude with the SoundCloud. Like, that's it.
With a what?
SoundCloud, like making mixtapes and shit. Like, don't fuck no fucking unsigned rapper. We're
I was
good.
talking. Do you know who Duncan Trussell is?
No.
He's a comedian. He and I. He's sort of moving into this open relationship thing, and we did a podcast recently, and he was like, you know what? The more I think about it, I don't really mind if she has sex with someone else. I just he can't be funny. Just don't let him be funny.
That's it. All right, I'm gonna play a song and then we'll come back with the rest of these calls. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3344. I got it. I'll play it on this on this side. 888-742-3345. The co-author, of Sex at Dawn, Chris Ryan, sitting in with me, chopping it up. We got a bunch of phone calls. We're talking about open relationships, monogamy. Is it natural? And what you don't even have the answers either. You don't got the answers. You're just saying like here's some info. Do what you want with it.
Exactly.
Which I like that, man. I really like that about that. You don't have to fucking have an open relationship, but I think it actually helps a person when they know that, like, hey, man, me wanting to fuck someone else is natural. And it's not an indictment on our relationship.
That's so important. Yeah, the fact that she's checking out another guy or thinking about the guy she met at the gym, like, that doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Doesn't mean your relationship isn't great.
Yep.
It just means she's a human being.
Here it is. 888-742-3345. Sex at Dawn is the book. You guys should really go check it out. And just super interesting. It deals with modern relationships, monogamy, just wanting to bang other people. I always felt like this, but there was never like science for me to fucking back it up. And then you got like science in there. I'm like, yeah, it's legit.
That's that PhD coming
that
through.
Motherfucking Chris Ryan PhD.com. And check out the fucking the podcast too. It's fire. 888-742-3345. We got a bunch of people. The lady that I was in, the married lady that I was seeing called up. I would have liked to have talked to her.
Yeah, let's get her on.
Actually, yeah, let's fucking get her on. Hold on 1 second. Take my phone and call her ass up.
There you go.
Hold up.
So a lot of people, while you're doing that, if you want to fill in, a lot of people are asking, like, how do you know how people behaved in prehistory, right? I mean, that's a legitimate question.
How do you know?
So in the book, we look at 4 main sources of information. You look at primates.
Wikipedia.
Like human. Exactly. We Googled shit. Yeah, that's how you write a book. Yeah, we looked at primates, particularly chimps and bonobos that are very closely related to humans. We look at anthropology, so the hunter-gatherers I was talking about earlier. Look at contemporary psychosexual research, which we haven't really talked about.
What the fuck does that mean? What's psychosexual research?
People who are researching, like, what turns people on, what kind of porn do people watch, what kind of difficulties do people have when they go to see therapists or doctors,
right.
you know. And then the fourth, which was kind of surprising to me, but turned out to be a huge source of information, is the human body, because the body reflects the behaviors of our ancestors.
Okay.
Right? So for example, the chemical composition of our saliva and the shape of our teeth and the kind of intestinal situation we have tells you a lot about what our ancestors ate.
In a nutshell, so what does this mean?
So you look at the human genitalia, particularly.
Should I take it out for you, or just
whip it out, and I'll get a laser and Thanks. I'll point things out. You know, like the ratio of the testicles to the body.
We got big ass nuts.
Primates. We got big nuts, but not as big as bonobos and chimps.
Gorillas got tiny dicks.
There you go. Tiny dicks and tiny nuts.
My dick is way bigger than a gorilla's.
So if a woman tells you you're hung like a gorilla, that's an insult.
A female gorilla couldn't take this dick.
No. And you probably couldn't give it to her because she'd kick your ass.
All right, man, I got game.
You got gorilla game.
I'm like, this is for Harambe.
Yeah.
So what are the big nuts? What do the big nuts do for it? What does that signify?
Okay, what that tells you is that there are two different realms where competition takes place between males to fertilize females, right? With gorillas, the competition is taking place between the individual males. They fight. The biggest, strongest male generally wins. The other males get kicked out of the group. That male takes over. It's a harem-based system. He takes over the females. He's the only male who's going to have sex with those females.
So he doesn't need big nuts.
So he does because there's no competition.
There's no count. Yeah.
Right? The competition's fighting.
That's why they're big and strong.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And they're twice the size of females generally, right?
Word.
And same thing with other mammals that have the same system, like walruses. The males tend to be twice the size of the females. But then you have primates like chimps, bonobos, and humans, where the competition is not taking place between individuals, it's taking place between sperm cells. So you and I are both having sex with her. If she's ovulating,
whoever's got the stronger swimmers,
the swimmers are going to get up there. So, so the guys with the biggest, the most spermatogenic tissue, it's called, that creates the most sperm cells, is going to be more likely to fertilize her. So that's what gets passed on, not size and strength.
Let's. We got the woman. Brandy.
Yes.
This is the woman. This is the married lady that I sleep with.
That's funny because I sleep with her too.
Look at that.
That's
fucking
amazing.
Small world. Small world.
First of all, can I say I can vouch for the dick on Jude, all right? An ape would be scared. There you go, Jude.
Thanks for co-signing my penis. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. So how long? You've been doing this for how long with your husband?
A year. We've been married almost 12 years.
So this is fairly new.
Yes.
How did you? And you wanted it, and not him, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How did you start that conversation?
Well, I mean, it's been a long time in the making. I've always kind of known that, like, I've had trouble with monogamy, and I sort of thought I was broken and that kind of thing. And I actually saw a documentary on polyamory a couple of years ago and thought, he would never go for that. I think that's me, though, But we got to a place in our relationship where we were, I felt like everything was going really great. We were really strong. And I just told him, pretty sure I'm polyamorous, which is a whole other thing. I mean, it's a not type of non-monogamy. But anyways, and, I told him, obviously, it's not like that I don't want you or don't love you. I love him very much. I don't ever, want to be apart from him. And so instead of cheating and lying, that I would rather if we were open and honest about it. And, obviously he had to think about it. And
does he like fucking the other chicks, or is he just doing it like to go through the motions because you're?
What do you think?
I don't know. Shit, he might be like busting tearful nuts. Like, I wish this was on Brandy's back.
No, I don't think so at all. No, he really enjoys it. He loves it. He gets to fuck whoever he wants to. I mean, it's as long as she's willing.
Yeah.
He he loves it. So.
Well, there you go.
Works.
Yeah.
I mean, for everyone like LaToya who is thinking, but this is introducing a dangerous, element, a mystery, it's a problem. There's someone like Brandy and her husband who are saying, like, this makes our relationship stronger.
And
this is because we're honest.
You don't even have to do it. Just know that it's in you and you won't judge it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the cool thing. It's like, I'm not telling you to go fuck someone else. I'm just saying, like, it's perfectly natural for you for you to be looking at, man, like, I'm a caveman when it comes to that shit. I see girls, I just want to get them all pregnant. It's just in me. It's just fucking in me.
Just because you've become a vegetarian doesn't mean that bacon doesn't smell good anymore.
Sean Lee.
No, it does not smell good. Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean Lee.
I'm a vegetarian.
Go ahead, Sean Lee.
Hey, okay. My deal is with this whole thing is, okay, I was married once. We did the whole threesome thing, and it didn't work. The female wanted me. Now I'm married again. I have an open relationship with my husband as well, but I'm not acting out on it, and he is. But I feel some type of way when he does, but it's just not in me to do it anymore.
All right, so it's not in you to do it, but he still wants to do it?
Yeah, I said I'm okay with it. I still am okay with it. I don't want to fuck a dude.
Is that him in the
I don't
background?
want to fuck a dude. That's him in the background.
Pass the phone.
Because when we got married, I told him, yeah, I'm with it and everything. When we were engaged, because we was going to swinger parties and everything, and but I like swinger parties.
So you like the social environment, but you don't really want to engage in the sex.
No, I don't. I haven't found the right dick or the right pussy that would like to eat us up.
Right. Well, that's cool. Then you're being true to yourself.
So how do you guys tackling that now?
I let him do it. Like for his birthday, I'll give him like some funky underwear and tell him to go, fuck off, like go, do your thing. And when we go out of town, I give him his time, to go do what you want to do. I'm at the house, at the hotel or whatever.
How do you feel when it's happening?
Participate. Say what now?
How you feel when this is all going on?
I feel kind of awkward because I'm trying to figure it out altogether because it's not like he's fucking. I just tell him not to bring back just don't bring back AIDS. You can't bring back a baby with another dude, but just don't bring back AIDS. Just make sure you wear a condom and make sure they wear a condom, and that's about it.
So is he fucking dudes or no?
Yeah.
Oh, he fucks men. He's a bicycle.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that just changed everything in my brain.
What? I got Juju?
Yeah, well, I wasn't ready for that. I was like, that came out of nowhere. That might have been something Chris had to do he had to do like this weird dick on dick sign language for me to even understand what was happening. Well, yeah, I think those are all legitimate things. Like the rate of new AIDS is fucking super. It's much higher in gay men than it is to fucking straight men. So that's a legitimate concern for you to have.
Yeah.
But
I mean, either or.
Have you tried the strap-on deal?
The same disease.
Does he?
Fuck yeah,
So
I do that.
You do the strap-on to him?
Yeah, I do strap-on. I do gloves. I do it all.
Let me throw him on the phone real quick. He doesn't have to say his name. I just want to just.
Okay. So you don't have to say his name.
What's up, Jude?
What up, though? So you like fucking guys?
Yeah, I was molested, man, when I was 3, man. I can't help it, man. Yeah. My wife knows this, though. She knows this. But she's not okay with it, because when I come home and say she cries, man, I'm like, look, you either with or you not. At least I told her before we got married. Ain't nothing like we were in a relationship and I was like, hey, you ain't this is what I like. She knows what's up.
You didn't put on like Glee and be like, guess what? I fuck dudes. Doesn't matter if you're a bottom or a top or like.
I fuck, man. I fuck. I'm a fucking top, man.
So you're a top. So it's not so it's important for you to get it to bang out a dude. Like it's not even like she can put on a strap on and fucking a fake mustache or some shit like that.
Okay, here's the thing, man.
Break it down.
Here's the thing, man. I like anal sex, right? And a lot of females, they don't do it. That's the thing. They don't do it. Yeah. She wasn't with it. I was her first. And she still really don't like that shit. But we're trying to work this shit out, man. It's like it's weird, man.
Sean, Sean's man. Let's be real. Even if she did like anal every fucking night, I still think you wouldn't want to fuck a guy.
Say what now?
Even if she was into anal, you would probably still want to fuck a guy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think that what they're doing is they're being real with each other.
Yeah.
She's being clear about what she's into and what she's not into. She's accepting that he's into certain things that she's not into, like the anal sex.
Right.
And she loves him and supports him and like, all right, you get what you need to get that I can't give you, get it elsewhere. I think that's great. I think that's a really healthy relationship from sounds of it.
Yeah, I always wear a condom. I'm protected. I don't go out there. I don't even get my dick sucked raw. I don't even do that, because like I said, I love my wife, and she told me what she expected from me, and I'm gonna do just that. I'm not gonna go out. I always ask her permission. I let her know what I'm gonna do.
You guys have a good thing.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, and
None.
that's kind of. Yeah, like, yo, dude, you got kind of hardwired into wanting to fuck dudes, man. Like, you like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with that one? And I have a feeling when I worked at the gay bar as a bathroom attendant, that's how I saved up money to get the fuck out of Michigan. There was a lot of fucking. I'm throwing up the straight shit. There was a lot of straight guys that were fucking stepping out on their wife, going to the fucking gay bar. Like, if a motherfucker's gay, they're gonna do some gay shit, whether you let them or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and you cover it in shame and secrecy. That's when condoms don't get used. That's when people make bad moves. They get really high, make bad decisions. So having it out in the open and being honest, I mean, yeah, that's great. You guys have a really good thing.
Thank you.
Well, and your wife is very fucking understanding, dude. Especially if she's not getting anything on it. You better get her some motherfucking red bottoms every now and again or some shit like that. You better get her a treat every third dude you fuck.
Nope. I pay all the bills, man. All of them.
There you go. He handles that shit. All right, bro. Take care, man. Peace. Yeah, homosexuality. What was that? That was. I'm guessing that was more common in the hunter-gatherer shit before you had like churches and stuff like that.
It's very complicated because there doesn't appear to be much of what we would call homosexuality in hunter-gatherer groups. There are gender issues. There are biological men who believe themselves to be women, and the society treats them like women. They don't consider themselves to be gay, and vice versa. There are, people born with pussies who say, no, I'm a man, I'm a dude.
Right.
And the society's just very...
They're just like, all right, sure.
All right, you're a dude.
All right, all right, Bill, whatever you say.
Whatever you say.
Nice pussy, bro.
And then there's we use these words and like we know what they mean, like homosexuality. Well, it turns out there's a tribe in Papua New Guinea that believes that semen contains the essence of masculinity. So the boys who want to grow up to be the baddest warriors, the meanest, most masculine dudes, suck as much dick as they can so that they will become masculine
I feel
warriors.
like some gay chief came up with this one. This is like fucking 2,000 years ago. Some gay chief was like, "Hey, bro, you want to kill a lion? Suck this dick."
Yeah, I told Dan Savage about this, and he was like, "Now, where exactly in Papua New Guinea is this?"
He's gonna be out there getting fucking headed off. Yo, that's like just next level. That's some wild shit, bro. Let's go to Nina in Queens. Nina.
Hi.
Go ahead, you're on.
Yes, I was just calling because I totally agree that monogamy is outdated. It's definitely a social construct. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 8 years, and we have an agreement, like I'm okay with him cheating as long as it doesn't interfere with my time and vice versa. And it's crazy because a lot of my girlfriends feel like I'm like the outcast of all of my friends because they all want to get married. And I'm fine with getting married, but I don't feel like my sex life should have to stop with him. I still have like a good another 40 years to live.
Why is it cheating if you're cool with it? Why'd you use that word?
Well, my friends consider it cheating. So I'm just basically saying what they're like.
Good thing. Yeah, they're paying your bills. Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I say, because I'm just like, you know what? It makes us happy. Because at the end of the day, I don't ever have to worry about, oh, my God, is he with another girl? Because I don't really care if he's with another girl. As long as he, takes care of home, I'm basically fine with that. And I think women put too much pressure on men for them to just be monogamous. It's just way too much pressure. And they get caught up in that, and they lose sight of the relationship, and it ruins it.
Do you feel safer with him in terms of the relationship because you trust him? You know he's not going to lie to you?
Yes, I definitely feel safer. Yeah. And I'm not worried about other chicks. Like, I'm okay with myself. And I think, too, like, I feel like I look good. I don't feel like I look good. I know I look good. So I don't take it personal. And I've learned that from past relationships. Like, whenever guys had cheated on me in the past, I would ask them, like, well, why did you cheat? And they'd be like, oh, well, it wasn't you. And then it took me a few relationships to realize it really wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was just something that he needed to do.
Girls always get mad. I always like the common thing, like, and she was ugly. It's like, bro, it's not even. It's not. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't. Like, they're not comparing her to you. It's just some new fucking pussy. Like, it's something new. It's not your vagina.
What I had to get past with that it wasn't personal, like you said, and that's the first thing women like to do is size up the other chick. Like, oh my God, did you see her? Did you see what he cheated with? It's always that. But once you, like you said, I don't look at it as cheating. I'm perfectly fine with him having sex. Like I told him, as long as it doesn't interfere with our bills, my time, I'm fine with it.
Why do you think that? Look, I think we can agree that there is a weird fucking. You do see competition between men and women. We have adapted to this way over the last 10,000 years. We have adapted to a monogamous structure where you're seeing competition between men for women. You're seeing women using vaginas as fucking bargaining chips. We see it all the time. To me, they overvalue their pussy. I'm like, your pussy isn't that fucking bomb, dude. Like, my dick is pretty good. Like this is.
I don't think we can ever overvalue it.
I disagree.
I put high value.
I disagree. I think a lot of times you see women using it as a chip, as a bargaining chip, as opposed to like, hey man, like we're two adults that want to enjoy one another, and you just don't see it like that. We've been conditioned to go that route.
Yeah, but don't forget that for millennia, we've put women in a position where the only way they could get what they need is through a man.
That's why I'm saying.
And all they had was their sexuality to bargain with.
And I guess I'm not condemning them for it. I'm just saying this is we are watching this. So are we schizophrenic? Is that what? Are we schizophrenic?
Well, we're going through big social changes, and I think since the advent of agriculture, we've been encouraging or forcing women to be monogamous and to, it's a scarcity based system that we've created. And the good way to look at it is the post-agricultural societies are scarcity based, and pre-agriculture are based on plentitude and an easy availability of sex, of food, of whatever. And so we've created this artificial shortage of sexual pleasure. And people who grow up in this society, think about like what the guy earlier said, something happened to him when he was 3 and that's changed his behavior for the rest of his life, right? So think about, you grow up in a nuclear family, or if you're lucky, 2 parents, a lot of people, 1 parent. You're a little kid, your survival depends on one person. That all your love, all your food, all your security, it all comes from that one person. Your brain configures itself to expect one person to give you everything.
It wasn't like that back in the day.
It wasn't like that. You had all the adults took care of the kids. The hunter-gatherer groups, the kids call everybody mother, everybody father. So it's a very different way to look at the world, and that plays out in our relationships.
You must be getting a ton of pussy, bro. You just crush it. You got a whole fucking book, like, using smart language to fucking talk chicks out of draws. Like,
I could tell you stories.
What a fucking champ. What a fucking champ. I got to write one of them science books.
Champ or chimp?
Either way. Whatever gets you the pussy, bro. All right, let's... Look, man, we got a ton of calls. We don't have time to do Hate It or Love It now, but what we will do is let's play one more song. We'll finish up with these calls, finish up with Chris Ryan, talking about, we did a damn near whole show on you, bro. Sex at Dawn. Chris Ryan, PhD.com. Check that shit out. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. We will be back. 888-742-3345. We got the author of Sex at Dawn, Chris Ryan, here talking about monogamy. We're going to finish up with these phone calls. 888-742-3345. In case you're just tuning in, let me do it in a nutshell. For the past 290,000 years, we have kind of had open... Your theories, we've had open sexual relationships in small communities. We were hunter-gatherers with the when we started farming and shit like that, agriculture caused us to start having more monogamous relationships. And
for the women.
For the women.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, ladies.
Yeah.
Tough call. Yep. You're bad. And and now we are, 10,000 years later, we're kind of in this weird world where part of our part of us really wants to have more than one partner.
We're sort of circling back, I think, in many ways. We're circling back to the way we lived before agriculture. This whole paleo movement, you look at exercise, CrossFit, you look at the paleo diet, you look at evolutionary medicine, you look at people understanding that they got to get out into nature more often, that sitting at a desk all day is going to kill you because your body's not designed for that. All this stuff that's moving forward, to me, in my perspective is biased, but to me it all looks like it's going back to where we started.
I do think disease and marriage laws and child support laws do hinder the direction you think is going back to, because that complicates things.
It does, but everything's complicated. As far as disease goes, you've got there are condoms. Use them. That eliminates most of the disease.
Bro,
issues.
man, this chick was riding me, man, and kind of
it broke.
Nah, bro, pussy was so good, she just kept going. I busted, and then it looked like a do rag. Yeah, she looked like a wave cap. I don't know. This is a couple of them times. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Matt in Michigan.
Yo, how you doing, Jude?
Good. You got Chris Ryan here.
Hey, Christopher. This is great conversation. I got a question. Do you get a lot of blowback from the religious community, particularly evangelicals? It seems like Muslims and Amish and those Mormons, they'd be co-signing this, but do you get blowback from those other religious communities, and then how do you react to that? And then also, if John were a hunter-gatherer, do you think that he would be a gatherer? Because I think he would be back while all the other men were out hunting, and he'd be trying to scheme on some gathering bush,
Who's John?
Exactly. That's what all those gather women would be saying. They'd be go, who's John?
John's the guy that was supposed to book you about fucking 10 months ago.
Sorry, that John.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't.
John would have starved. He would get left by the hunter gatherers.
The chin behind the computer.
All right,
the glasses.
All right, so let's just touch on the religious thing.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was hoping for it, to be honest with you. I thought that would help sell a lot of books if I got a lot of. But I think the religious right in this country is so discredited by their own constant sexual scandals that the last thing they want to do is talk about sex. Because anybody who reads anything I've written or sees my TED Talk or any of that stuff can guess pretty quickly I'll just call them out for their own hypocrisy.
Right. Yeah, there's a laundry list of fucking...
Geez. Yeah, the last thing they want to do is talk about sex, I think.
I'm surprised polygamy isn't more accepted.
You mean polygamy as one man, several wives?
Either way. It was I thought that was going to be the next thing. We were pretty under the whole with gay marriage, let consenting adults do what they want to do. It just seemed to me like that would be the next logical step if you have consenting adults.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the laws don't make a lot of sense around sex, as we all know in this country. And if they did, then I think you're right. I think if a woman wants to marry a guy who's already married and her wife agrees, then there should be a 3-way triangular marriage possible. I have a friend who's a lawyer, Diana Adams, who specializes in unconventional family structures. She writes up wills and property rights and child custody, predicting if this relationship splits, what's going to happen and how's the property going to be distributed. So there is some movement in that direction. But yeah, I think the first step is ethical non-monogamy and same-sex marriage. And then down the road, it'll probably spread into other kinds of configurations.
And Detroit, go ahead.
This shit is brilliant, Jude. You know what? For a long time, man, I've always thought that monogamy was something wasn't quite right with it. And this just validates feelings that I've had for years. I've been with the same damn woman for 25 years, and I can't speak on women, but I know as men, we like new pussy. It has nothing to do with whether we have the love for our woman, our wife, or whatever. it just gets old when you're with the same person all those years. You want to go out and explore something. And there have been plenty of times where I've gone out and did my thing, and after an hour, okay, it's time to go home to mama. I'm good. And the relationship is great. And I think if a lot of women embrace it like the young lady did a couple calls ago, I think the world would be a much better damn place.
What about your wife? You seem to be stepping out. Are you good with your wife stepping out?
You know what? I would think that I haven't been in that situation, but I think I would be open to at least trying it. And the whole concept would be just like the rule for me would be don't bring nothing home, no diseases, no side chicks, take care of home. It would be the same for her. Don't get pregnant by no other motherfucker and expect me to take care of them. Don't bring no diseases home. Don't be out there in the street making me look stupid. But, hey, who's to say that she don't need some side dick every now and then?
I'm going to be real with you. I think that cheating was more acceptable back in like the fucking 40s and stuff like that because divorce was less acceptable, and they just couples gave each other a bit more allowances because they're like, look, man, we're in this for the long run, and they just kind of would turn the other fucking like, yeah, all right, you do what you got to do, I'm gonna do what I got to do, and we'll make sure that the family is fucking good. And I feel like cheating kind of became frowned upon as divorce became more acceptable. What do you think about that thought?
I kind of half agree with you. I think that men cheating was more acceptable or accepted by women because women had much less power. And then in the late 50s, early 60s, as women got more power culturally and divorce laws, as you say, got more liberal, and women could get work directly. They could enter the workplace and get higher education.
They had more opportunity to go out and cheat.
Right. And I think at that point, American culture faced a choice, which is, do we force men into the box we've had women in for centuries of not having anyone on the side? Or do we allow women?
I don't think you're giving women enough credit, man. I think they were doing it. I think they're getting it in more than you give them credit for.
Well, it's a hard thing to measure, but if you look at Kinsey and the other studies that were done around that time, you see men having extracurricular sex much more
at a higher rate.
Now, of course, we don't know the real story because when the penalties are so high, I mean,
you might not be getting the right answer.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a great study we talk about in Sex at Dawn where they asked men and women how many sexual partners they'd had in their lives, right? And then they hooked them up to a machine that they said was a lie detector.
Yeah.
And the men's answers didn't change, but the women's went way up.
Them motherfuckers. Yeah, it's like I don't even ask I don't ask a woman because I don't give a fuck. But like if you do, multiply by 2, add 7. Like that's how you'll get there. Stephanie in Boston.
Jude, listen, I respect everything that, the PhD is saying, but fuck that shit. You got all these people calling in like, oh, it's okay if my man goes out and fucks other bitches, if he fucks other men, if he's a faggot. You got the guy calling in talking about, yeah, it's okay if my woman steps out. Kiss my ass. They're all lying to themselves. You know that you do not appreciate the fact that your partner, somebody that you're committed to and that you love, is stepping out and having sex with somebody else. There's no fucking way in the world. And your bitch, if she steps out and lets some nigga slap her in the face with his dick, you will not be happy about that. You will not. So stop acting like cheating is okay. I don't know where this concept has come from. It is not okay. You need to be with something. You don't need to be. It's my opinion. But it's definitely great if you are in a monogamous relationship. Let's stop shitting on monogamy and give it some fucking respect, man.
I don't think either one of us are shitting on monogamy. I'm gonna say my case is like, yo, don't fucking beat yourself up if you have other urges. I'm not even saying you need to go step out. I'm just saying recognize what the fuck. I think self-realization and knowing who you are makes it a lot easier to control what the fuck you do. And once you take ownership of that, you can go any way you want. I'm not telling you to cheat or not cheat. I'm just saying, hey, bro, it's kind of in us to want to fuck a lot of different people.
That's just mental. You making it like
I bet y'all
I
fuck
understand,
you.
you know what I mean? You men, you
I'll
know what I'm
fuck
saying?
you
Y'all
right
dick
now.
works a little different than us, but nah.
You've never ever been attracted to somebody else that wasn't your man.
Yeah, of course, back in the
so.
day, but I wasn't in a committed relationship.
So.
But I wasn't in a committed relationship.
So you just turn it off?
Difference is, you got to be clear. You got to be clear.
I was on this TV show a while ago with two professors somewhere, and they were like, yeah, after the cameras were off, they're like, yeah, your book sounds interesting and all that, but, you know, I'm married to this beautiful woman. I love her. I'd never think about anyone else. And the other guy's like, yeah, me too. And I was like, all right, that's cool, whatever, you know. And I said, but do you guys look at porn at all? And they're like, yeah. So do you always look at, pictures of your wife? Like, no. You look at the same woman all the time? No. Well, then you're not monogamous. Your behavior may be monogamous, but your impulses are certainly not monogamous. And that's what we're talking about here. As you say, it's not about what you're going to go do. It's just acknowledge that the impulse is not monogamous.
That's all.
Porn is fantasy. That's fantasy. That's not real life. That's not pussy in your mouth right here, right now. No, it's not.
Right.
I think we're kind of agreeing. Like, you don't have to follow up on this shit. He's just saying that, like, yo, dude, like, Chris and his wife's theory is for 290,000 years before agriculture, cats had tossed that shit the fuck up. So, like, yo, hey, maybe maybe in the back of your mind when you want to fucking do that shit, it's not the craziest thing ever. You don't have to do it. It's just not the craziest thing ever, and it's not an indictment on your relationship. That's it.
Yeah, but these people are acting like they don't have a backbone to let the bullshit, like to turn a blind eye to the bullshit. Like, that is just unacceptable. Like, you let your man go and be a faggot?
To you, it's unacceptable.
You can't unmake somebody a fag. Like, yo, if they're gay, they're fucking
But
gay.
you can't be with them either, though. Like, in your brain is telling you that it's okay that the man you love, you're dedicated to, is a faggot. Something's wrong with both of these motherfuckers.
You know what love is? Acceptance. So she loves him on. Look, you don't have to. Hey, guess what? You don't have to fuck a guy that fucks guys.
Yeah,
she chose to. Why are you so judgmental? Why are you so judgmental?
I'm not judgmental. I'm just saying because it sounds ridiculous. Like,
you yelling faggots and fucking no backbone and all that shit. Like the dude, like you think that dude like fucking woke up was like, hey, I think I want to suck a dick. To like, you don't fucking just decide you want to suck dick. Can you just?
I get it.
Like if I whoop your ass enough, could I make you want to eat some pussy? No, it's just something that's either in you or it's not. Like that's all. Like it's clearly in the fucking dude. Give him a break.
Nah, I ain't with the faggot shit. I ain't with the faggot shit, and I'm not with the guys. I'm telling you, and the men think that it's gonna be cool to have your woman go out there fucking. No, it's not. I'm trying to tell you, people are lying to themselves, man. It's ridiculous.
It's not to you. I don't know why you think you know what's going on in other people's heads. You stick with your own head. You know what's going on in yours, and that's cool. Stick with it. That's right. You don't want to be with a bisexual guy? Fine. But why do you think you know what's going on in everyone else's head?
No, I'm just saying because we got a lot of mental defects around here, and people are not accepting it. So for you to accept that your man, are you understanding what I'm saying, though? To be accepting of your man actually going out, being with someone else. Now, we understand. Now, listen, I understand your dick works a certain way. My vagina works a certain way. And with my vagina, it fucks up my brain as a woman in general. So my brain equates sex with love. This is what happens with females.
No, that's what happens with you.
Sex.
That's what happens with you.
No.
Again, you're generalizing.
In general.
You can't say that.
Can you love more than one person?
We got different types of love.
Okay.
We talking about sexual love, or I love you as a friend. I don't want you to get hit by a bus, Jude. Like, what kind of love?
I'm just saying, I don't know, dude. Like, hey, look, man, some people aren't built like. Look, is it possible to say that people are different? Is that can we agree on that?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, all right. So is it possible to say that not everybody views the world like you? Okay, thank
Yes.
you. I rest my
All
case.
right.
All right. Okay, we're going to end with Black Magic. Black Magic.
Rude, Jude, what's up, white dog?
What's up, bro?
Hey, to the PhD, you know what I'm saying? What's up with it?
Hey,
I would say this. A lot of that shit, the same way that homeboy turned gay when he was 3, you know what I mean? Some of this shit is nature, some of it's nurture. You know what I mean? Some dude, like you said, some dudes would have been hunter-gatherers, some dudes would have already been at the crib trying to build a farm and shit. Some people, that broad grew up only looking for one dude. You know what I'm saying? And when she found the one dude, she never seen nothing else that she wanted. But then motherfuckers come up like us, like we was taught to fucking, I'm trying to murder everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fuck everything. So that type of type A personality, it attracts a lot of women. You know what I mean? And so then when you get one, the same thing that attracted her was the fact that, oh, okay, he aggressive. He go out, he get what he want. You know what I'm saying? He don't stop in that. He persistent. Yeah, this what the same thing that you was attracted to is the same thing that makes me attracted to everything else. You know what I'm saying? That's like I made a proper real estate transaction. Fuck around, you got 6 figures in the bank. I don't get more juice. I'm sitting with 100 stacks. You can't get me more fired up than if I see $1 on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you got 100 bands. Yeah, but it's $1 right there. I'm finna run. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna run over and get that shit, right?
So you're saying that you're saying the same thing that makes you attractive to women also makes you want to fuck more women.
Yeah, perfect. Like if a bitch like you go to the zoo and people are like, ooh, I like that wolf. That wolf look good and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They want to pet the wolf. Yeah, cool, but don't be surprised when the wolf attacks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you bought the wolf because okay, I bought this dog. It thought it was only gonna love me as his master. No, man, fucking dog sniff on everything. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Somebody buys a dog. This dog's real nice. It's nice to you. It's nice to her. It's nice to her. It's nice to her. You know what I mean? Like, if they wanted a more passive style of dude, they would go with the passive. Passive dudes don't get no pussy. You know what I'm saying? He get one little weak ass pussy, and the other part on these hoes value, and they put the market drives the value. Of
you
pussy.
should see John all mad. John is mad. John is mad in the background, shaking his head. He's like, "Yes, we do get pussy.
We do.
We do. We do. Every now and again."
John get the leftover pussy. You know
John be
like,
getting girls that got traumatized by their dad and are afraid of real men.
But a couple.
Hey, John get the bitches that we fuck over. You know what I'm saying? They go cry on his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a market for John.
After the basketball team ran a train on him, John fucking picks up the pieces.
John the one that drive that hoe home. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get this bitch.
John's waiting in the fucking car for her to get done.
To get ice cream, so we ain't got to. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got to roll.
Now I'm a cuck? No, fuck that.
You are a cuck. All right, look, man, we ran out of time. Chris Ryan, the book is Sex at Dawn. You can get it on fucking audiobook if I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers drive. A lot of you guys prefer that shit. Get it on Audible. Chris is not happy with how it is read, but I think it's very good. And the book Sex at Dawn can be bought everywhere. Definitely check it out. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. Go to your local bookstore. It's whether you agree with it or not. It's really a fucking interesting. It's an interesting think piece, and it kind of helps you look at things a bit differently. Chris, thanks so much for coming by, man.
Hey, had a great time. Thanks for having me.
You can follow Chris also at that Chris Ryan on Twitter, Chris Ryan PhD. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, it's the news. Also, Miami. I'm going to be out there 3 p.m. Shoe Gallery Saturday. Fuck with the kid. 3 p.m. My book is a lot like Sex at Dawn, but it's basically just in practice. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the theories, it's just me fucking mad chicks and then doing ketamine. I think they talk about that in Sex at Dawn too, and that's
chapter
on the
12.
Yep, chapter 12. Ketamine, what it means to you and how it affects your boner. Poorly, fucking poorly. Chris Ryan, y'all. That Chris Ryan. Chris, thanks so much, bro.
Yeah, anytime. It was a great time.
Let's go.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
And now, it's time for News from the Chin with John C. Matthews.
Come across a couple of stories about women who are now addicted to porn and being sex addicts.
Hey.
This is now a popular thing online. And, of course, recently, Pornhub, they released their year review saying that porn for women was a big search item.
We was talking about that yesterday. Or the other day?
A couple days ago. Man.
Yep. So now what? This is a follow-up? Tell me.
All right. So a sexologist is warning that this rise of women-friendly porn is creating a new wave of female sex addicts.
Hey, I like that. So, hey, man, women's lib. People act like chicks don't want dick. They want it.
Sure.
Like, pussy doesn't have to be like some weird bartering tool or some shit like that. Like, yo, man, like chicks want to fuck as much as we want to bang.
This guy, Robert Weiss, a top sexologist and author of this book, Sex Addiction 101, is saying that he's seeing more women struggle online than I've ever seen struggle before with porn and hooking up. So it's damaging their lives.
It's fucked up. At One More Jude is my Instagram. If you're in the LA area and you're going through this and you just need someone to talk to, just hit me up. Slide in my DMs. You can come by. We'll just talk about it. Just whatever happens. I'm just here. I'm here for you. Whatever you need. Shoulder to cry on. Mouth to eat that twat. That motherfucking twat. Isn't that crazy? Like, women are addicted to sex and you're the most dry dick Sahara Desert dick motherfucker. Yeah, you, John.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
Isn't that weird?
Not really.
It's like, hey, women are addicted to fucking drugs and you got all the coke. And, you know, and like, you can't sell a bag. Like, it's like, that's...
If I really wanted to turn that around, I could bang that.
A lot of ifs.
If I was out there really in the hunt, I'm sure I could turn that around.
If were a spliff, we'd all be fucked up. Isn't that the fucking if? If John If Matthews.
I'm not up there working it that hard at all.
You're not.
I'm not.
It at all. You know what he's got
Not
on
that.
today? Zip away, cargo pants.
It's not helping.
Away. Zip away keeps the chicks away. Zip away.
I've come to accept that.
Zip away, zip away, zip away.
I'll go shop and get some jeans.
Zip away, zip away, zip away. You don't wear shorts.
Why would I want to wear shorts?
Then why would you wear zip-aways? Like, it's not even an option. It's not even a fucking option.
Here,
don't even make no sense.
On the weekends here, it gets hot.
On the weekends, it gets hot, and you zip off your cargos.
I do. It has happened. It has happened. It has happened. I walk in like, damn, and I'm just sweating. I tear them off.
Man, it's just mad hot. Hold up. Zip. Zip.
There's nobody around on the weekend.
Just hold on a second. Let me just fucking... Take that. Take those off. Whew. All right.
Just hang him over the wall there.
Oh, man, what a bleak. What a bleak.
It's not that bleak.
Bleak. When you moving out the gay guy's house?
Very comfortable. Very soon.
When are you moving out of the gay man's house?
Presumably soon, because we're getting there. You
just don't understand. You don't even get it.
Of course I get it.
Then you just don't care about people's feelings.
That is not the case.
John, if you gave a fuck, you'd be out of that man's house.
Perhaps he and I have a special bond now. No,
it's like people do you a favor, and now you're like
forever.
fucking 9 months in.
Forever.
It doesn't matter. Just know that he does not want you there. Look at me. You're not welcome. You're not welcome.
Yeah.
Yet you persist.
I don't spend a lot of time there, by the way.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
He just knows that you're going to be there sooner or later.
There's a dark cloud over the apartment.
Just go.
No, it's not. All right. Yeah, I've got...
You're a lame.
Oh, God.
You're a fucking selfish lame. You know what you want? You want a mommy.
I do not need a mommy.
You do want a mommy.
I do not need a mommy.
I fucking take care of you here. Your fucking ex took care of you back.
Yeah, you take care of me very well here.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
The truth is, I've got a roof over my head, so for that I'm thankful. Yeah. Not out on the streets. By the way, the Sex Addicts Anonymous group over in Britain, they estimate that 6% of Britons, roughly 4 million people, are battling sex addiction.
Oh.
Are you a sex addict?
I don't know. Man, maybe. I don't know. I'm at this point now where it's like, I want to fuck. I just don't want to deal. Like, I'll be like, man, I'm horny, but I don't really feel like fucking dealing. So then I just don't. I got the energy.
Meaning the aftermath?
Like, if they could just, if a woman would just, I know it sounds awful, if they would just come over and just give me vagina and then leave. But that's not how I structure these things, because I actually like the women and we hang out and, you know, we chop it up. But, like, sometimes I just don't have the fucking energy for that. So I tend to fucking just stay to myself. I met a girl over in, I don't know, a week. It's long for me.
That's long. A week?
Yeah. I'm not a loser, John.
I don't view it as sort of wins and losses. Why?
That's why you're a loser.
I've just got other things to do.
Like what?
Well, at this point, I'm really...
lurk around here until your fucking gay roommate's asleep, and then you fucking sneak in, pretend like this is exact. I just fucking described his day. I literally just described his day. That guy hates you.
He doesn't hate me.
Let's bring him on to talk.
John's got too... Steven's got too much going on.
John and John. Hey, the two Johnnies. Fucking one John, the fucking odd couple, John and John.
Got too much going on.
Fucking gay John cannot wait for you to be gone.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, busy. He's busy paying rent so that you can live for free.
There's this lady who recently came up with...
What a bum. What a piece of shit, dude. You're a fucking pile of shit.
There's this memoir out, Getting Off, about some lady who claims that she's a sex addict. Do you want to talk to her?
Switch stories next. You fucking loser. Still at John's house. God, I know. I bet you can't. Ugh. Just there stinking it up with your fucking loser dust.
It doesn't smell. So there's this idea that if you ride your bike to work, it'll lower your stress level. You don't live too far from here.
I'm 8 miles.
You should ride your bike.
It's either ride my bike or dress decent. Like, you make the call. You know what I mean? You should ride your bike. You're not. You won't ruin anything. You already look like shit.
It's doable, but it's a little far.
How far are you?
It's over in Highland Park.
Damn, dog.
It's possible.
What do you got like fucking? What are you paying for college or some shit? You got like college loans?
That's still floating around.
Man,
those people never go away, no matter what. So,
do you think your parents was like? They must be so disappointed in you.
Not really.
Maybe that's why you're a loser.
I think at one point that discussion came up, but I wouldn't back down.
You're like 47 with a roommate, and you don't even pay rent, and you can't even get out, and he don't even want you there.
That's your version of events. Your version of events.
What's the real version?
Well, I mean, it's not far from the truth.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, I thought so. And then you won't leave. You know what I would do if you... one, I would never let a fucking loser like you stay at my fucking place. And then two, because I'm not a fucking moron. And then two, I would wake you up with a fucking cup of cold water every day. Just fucking throw it in your face. Like out of bed, chin boy.
Fire extinguisher.
Every day. Look at a fire extinguisher. It's jokes to you.
John and I are fine, by the way. We are.
Get him. Have him call up.
He's got too much going on for that.
Just a quick phone call. John, are you happy with John staying here? That's all I want to know.
He would say yes.
How much longer do you plan on having John stay? Are you paying anything?
I'm kicking him down a little bit, yeah.
How much? How much you paying him, John?
Not a lot.
Just give me a number.
I pay him in kind.
Stealing. What the fuck does that mean?
No, but the truth
Stealing.
is, but no, at some point I'm going to have to up my game with John. But this is going to end very soon. It is. Fact.
God, you're depressing. You're just a fucking... God, what a sad man you are.
It is not sad. I am not that sad. Despite what you want, I'm not that sad.
Despite what I want? I want you to fucking, like, just be a man and go get a fucking... Yo, just go get a bachelor apartment. God, what a fucking loser. All right, stop.
You're asking the fucking questions, man.
I know.
You're the one doing it.
I know. It's just bumming me.
Don't. It's not that bad, by the way. It's not as bad as you're portraying it.
John.
It's true.
It's worse. It is worse. All right, everybody raise whoever's the oldest person in the studio, raise your hand. That's John raising their hand. Right. Whoever's fucking living rent free off their gay homie and won't fucking move out the crib, raise your hand. Whoever's paying barely any rent. Yep, John.
Slowly raising his hand.
What a dick, man.
I've known this guy for a very long time.
I bet you he regrets the day he met you.
Well,
I fixed his computer.
I don't want to press my luck with that.
I helped him hack his fucking his Fire Stick. It's a $40 deal, bro. You're really stretching it, man. What else?
Well, we've talked about this before, but there's more research looking at the effects of mushrooms, magic mushrooms.
Hey!
Treating depression without the emotional numbing effects of antidepressants.
I'm microdosing. Everyone's into it. Grind up a little bit, take a little bit, cruise through the day.
And they found that the psilocybin-assisted therapy can aid treatment-resistant depression by reviving the brain's emotional responsiveness. But these antidepressants, they just sort of numb you out. But the psilocybin, it does not have that effect. Hey. So it connects you with your emotions.
Hey.
When was the last time you did mushrooms?
I want to say like August.
And would you agree with this? It enhances emotional receptivity?
Yeah. It's like a reboot button.
But you don't find yourself sitting there crying or weirdness like that?
I've cried on mushrooms, yeah.
Oh.
I've had dark times. Yeah. Like the one time I cried on mushrooms, it was like it was years ago. I was selling drugs and fucking supposed to be hanging out with my fucking kid that day, and I decided to just do mushrooms, and it was just awful. I just had the worst trip. I wish, and I taped it. I taped my blabberings. I wish I could find that tape. Can you imagine, like some fucking 18-year-old Jude crying into a fucking tape? And then you gotta fucking like, what are you doing, man? Like fucking. That's what you should be doing right now. Do you understand? Like my midlife crisis was at 18, and you're like 40 something and just oblivious.
I used to be concerned that I would freak out on those types of drugs.
Yeah, you would, because you would really look at your life and be like, wow.
But now I'm sure I can handle it.
Do some. Bet you move out that crib quick than a motherfucker. You look at all the fucking fuck shit you was doing and just change it.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, CNN was on when I came into the fucking office and I unplugged it.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. Fuck you, bro.
Dick move. You're there for 5 seconds. You walk by, you unplug it, and you keep on cruising.
It's bad for the office.
No, it's not.
You are bad for the office.
No, it's not. There's nobody over there.
You should do a blind vote to see who's better for the office, me or you. Do a blind vote.
A blind vote?
Yeah. Fucking secret ballot. See who's better for the office.
And what's the criteria? I mean, what do we put on that?
Just
who
say,
is better? Who has a more positive impact on the office?
Who is, yeah.
Do you really want me to do that?
Yeah.
You really want me to do that?
Let's do that. Let's fucking do that. Who is better for the office?
This leads to...
Who do you think is going to win? You're here all the time, so you should...
In theory.
Right. You have a better chance of fucking having like an emotional bond with all these people.
This will not be hard to explain to anybody. I'll just say, here's what we're doing, and they'll just... You want to have like a box, and then each name, and then a little check. Is that what we're doing?
Yep, and then it's a secret ballot. Be like, this is a secret ballot.
Right. So
who is better for the office?
So who do
everybody in the fucking office?
Even the guy? Even like the main...
Ross?
Like, yeah.
Yep. Even Ross.
I'm not sure he knows my name.
Looks like you're gonna lose. Looks like you're losing one vote.
I already know where his check's landing, but everybody else, I think I'll do okay.
Do you give out bottles of Orange Swift wine to the office?
No, I give out.
No, you do not give out bottles of Orange Swift wine to the office.
Rays of sunshine.
You give a fucking dude walking around in his socks. Okay. All right, what else?
All right. If you're having sex as you get older, it can improve. It can improve your brain. They're not really giving much information as to why, because they're still looking into it. But they're saying definitively here that, well, it's kind of a small number, but they looked at 73 people.
Wow, look at that! 73 people feel better after sex. Woo!
Between the ages,
that was a $200,000 fucking funded thing.
Hey, these are serious institutions. Coventry and Oxford universities. Oxford University.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're really throwing money away.
All right.
73 people.
Between 50 and 83 filled out questionnaires on regularly they had sex over 12 months, and their vocabulary and ability to see object, well, that's what they studied, but they found that older people who were sexually active scored better than those who were celibate but did not look, at how often they had sex. But
what about people that are pet owners? I always feel like they're happy and shit.
Oh, I mean, we've looked at that, sure.
I wonder if it makes them smarter, too. I'm just saying. If I haven't fucked in a while, I feel stupid. I feel
really?
Like a stupid fucking loser. Yep.
It really impacts you that much? I mean,
man.
You obsess over this.
I don't obsess. I just I'll be like, I feel like I'm missing a beat.
What's the longest stretch that you've gone, as far as you know?
The longest stretch I've gone was when I was buying my mom that house. I was really busy with the house buying shit and kind of like dealing with you. You had just fucking came on and we're fucking nightmare. And then yeah, it was just I was very stressed out and I was going back and forth between here and Detroit, and it was I think 4 months.
You had that
4 months
anus thing going on or whatever that was too.
The fuck no, that was post. I was getting pussy. I was getting pussy with the motherfucking maxi pad in my ass. You know the shit don't stop till the shit don't stop.
I'm sorry, you said 4 months?
Yeah, and it was like I remember I was doing ketamine in the chair one day, and I was like, literally, like, you need to go fuck now. And I went and got a rub and tug the next day, and that fucking boom kick started my shit.
Well, we've talked about this before. People getting hurt, taking selfies, falling off cliffs, things like that. But now farmers are being warned about taking selfies with newborn calves.
Why?
Because if they're that close to the newborn, and then the mother cow sees this, they'll come over and wipe you out.
Fuck you up.
Have you ever been close to a cow recently? They're fucking huge.
Just your ex. Hey,
hey now.
Bring her on, John.
So farmers are understandably proud of their calves, but now it looks as though they have this organization here saying you should really stop doing that.
Let them. Hey, eat Tide. Hey, y'all, eat Tide. Take selfies on cliffs. Take selfies with fucking tigers and fucking newborn babies in front of their fucking super aggressive moms. Do everything you want. Let's thin the fucking herd, man. Darwin this shit out, bro. Thin the fucking herd. Hey guys, I heard Tide fucking shit is delicious. You should eat some fucking detergent. Don't stop there. Fucking blow lines of Comet. Underneath the car, there's this chocolate syrup you should try. Yeah. They call it the oil tank, but just right under the oil, it's really chocolate. Try that. Fucking morons. Have you guys tried that blue raspberry antifreeze? Like, yeah, just let dumb people die. This is where we're really going wrong as a species, man. We keep like letting fucking dumb people live, and then they keep fucking and having more dumb people. Just let them fucking go. I'm not saying to kill them. Just let nature take its course.
But they are saying that cow attacks around calving time have increased in recent years and now surpass bull attacks as the number one livestock-related cause of deaths. So people are actually getting killed. Be careful out there on the farm.
You be careful out there on that farm. Listen to John. Johnny roommate. Be careful on the farm, boys. Cow attack. I was really hard on you today. But this was tough love. You gotta John. Get your fucking life together, bro.
Yeah,
the blank stare into nowhere.
Well, if I sat here and dwelled on it, it would be hard for me to think of anything else. So I compartmentalize it. Yes, I get up and think, okay, got to turn this around. A day doesn't go by, I don't think about it. But I can't sit here and just sort of look at my wrists and wonder if I'm going to end it all.
You get a paycheck, right?
Yeah,
you get a paycheck, right?
I do.
Are they garnishing your wages or some shit? Or
got a couple.
Who's garnishing your wages?
Maybe somebody that wants some student loan money. Paying that down for a while.
Sally Mae, bro, or was it Fannie Mae in your asshole, bro?
Oh, it's been bounced around so often. Who knows? It's I'm not even sure of the entity anymore, but
damn, son.
They are just.
Should we get a Kickstarter for you to move out the fucking crib?
No, it's fine.
Depressing.
It is not depressing. It's only depressing when you talk about it.
People want to start a clothing drive for you. You know that, right?
Get you some pants.
They literally want to start a fucking clothing drive for you.
That happened at a radio station.
With you?
Yeah. There was
oh my God, dude.
The PD, he had some like, get Johnny some pants, or I don't know. I can't remember. I was like, what the fuck?
So this is like
this
is it.
Up there, they were paying me peanuts though, so it was.
So all right, that's the news.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
That was a show, man. It was basically the Sex at Dawn show. Grab the book from Chris Ryan at everywhere books are sold. Sex at Dawn, and you can even listen on Audible if you're driving around. Fellas, at least give you a little bit of game to fucking, talk to your special lady friend about. Be like, did you know that blah did he fucking blah in group sex? Because science? Fuck yeah, man. Chris Ryan, PhD. He also has a podcast. You can find it at chrisryanphd.com. He and I did one together that's up from a month or two ago, so you should definitely just go check it out. Just on GP, just for that. That'll be your little baby step into it. That Chris Ryan. Also, thank you to Chris on the boards, the other Chris, who is not a PhD, but he's a doctor on the motherfucking boards. Keenan is the associate producer. John has a big-ass fucking chin, and I'm like, how does he put his shirt on every day? My name is Jude. I'm the fuck out of here. We will talk to you tomorrow.